Hello everyone, today we'll be having a lab session in strings in Python. So we'll be talking about the strings data type. First, let's go through the question one. It's the easiest one. That is, write a Python program that replaces every occurrence of specific substring within a string to another string. So basically you're having three inputs. One is the original string, the second is the string to replace, and the third is replacement string. And finally, you replace every occurrence. For example, you're replacing here Python to Java, and you output I love Java programming. Okay, so let's go to the online GDB and write the program. So we have three inputs: original string goes to input. You can give a prompt here. For example, enter the original string. And we can have the substring input, enter the substring to replace, and we can have a replacement string. Enter the replacement string. And then we replace the string, the original string, with the replacement. So the result is original string dot replace. Replace is a Python method on string type that can replace something with something. This is substring and replacement. Now we can print the result. So let's try it. I love Python programming, and replace Python with Java. Yeah, and you see, I got I love Java programming. Okay, let's move on to the next question. That is finding the substring index. So you need to create a Python function that takes a string and the substring as input and return the string index of the first occurrence of string. That is finding. So for example, given a string hello, welcome to this world, and you're going to substring welcome, and since the welcome is here, you output that the starting index is blah blah blah. For example, is 7 here. And let's do it together. So we have, remember, we have two strings, input string and substring. We can have string goes to input, enter, for example, let's call it the main string. And we can have a substring, enter the substring, and we'll do in index equals to string dot in dot find the substring. Again, find is a Python method that can actually find the index of the in this string. Print index. So let's try it with a very simple string. See, since the index starting with 0, so the number 3 here has the index of 2. Now, that's not completely finished, so we can actually make the program a bit nicer. For example, if we want to handle, if we want to be case insensitive, that is, if we want to find, for example, we wish to find the index of, let's use example here, welcome in welcome to hello world. So let's say we want this whole program to be case sensitive. So we want to find a welcome in here, even though the W one is the uppercase and one is the lowercase. And in this case, we can change it to make both of them use dot lower. And finally, we can say if index equals to -1, then we can print more nicely. So you see, the expected output is not only a number, it's starting index column number. So if it's -1, that is the substring is not found, we just print substring not found. Else we print substring index at index. So let's try. Yeah, you see string index is 7. That is the same to the example here. Okay, let's move on to question 3. So question 3 is about reversing the words in a string. So you're going to develop a Python program that reverses the order of the words given in a string while maintaining the original characters order within each word. So what does this mean? So for example, I have a string, hello world from Python. The program here is going to reverse from the word level. So the Python is the last word and it's going to be the first word in the output. So Python from word hello. But notice that within each string, the order is not reversed. So Python is still Python. It begins with P, Y, T, H, O, N. Okay, it's not reversed. Only words are reversed. So to think about it, how we implement this program is going to have 2 steps. One is to separate the string into word by word, a list of words. So we're going to split it into hello world from Python. There's 4 words here, and we're going to reverse the list of words and then get the final output string. Okay, so let's first enter the string to be reversed with. And remember, the first things we are going to do here is going to split the string into a list of words. So we say words equals to string dot split. So let's see what it does. Okay, so we can actually print words here. And let's copy the so you see it's going to split the whole string into 4 words, into a list of words, hello world from Python, and then we're going to reverse the list of words. So reverse words is words, and finally we join it with space. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, you see, we first split it into words, reverse it, and then join with space. So you're using space to join these individual words, and you get Python from word hello. That's it. It's quite simple. So let's move on to question 4. So question 4 is about writing a Python program that asks a user for a string and a number. Then slice the string from the beginning of the index given by the number and print the result. So for example, you're giving a data science and you're starting from index 4, and then you're going to cut the first 4 characters, and you get data. So it is a question that asks you how you're going to do string indexing. And first, you need to know what is string indexing. There are multiple ways to do it, but I'm going to begin with the most simple and mostly used way. So first, you're going to enter a string, and then we're going to explain what string index and how to use it. So you can index a string with this bracket here, and you can have either one number that is the index, so you can get a character of the string, or you can have a column here, then you can get a range that is from index 0 to index 2. Let's try it here. Oops. Yeah, so in the first way, you get the zeros number, that is the first in the string, that is D. In the second, you get the zeros to the 2, and 2 is not inclusive, so it is DA, the first 2 character here. And if we actually ignore the first argument, then you're going to starting from the very beginning of the string. So the question here is about slicing from the beginning of the string, and exactly what we want. So we do this, we input a string, we input a number, enter, and index, and we print string index, and that's it. So please notice here in the curly bracket, we ignore the first argument, that is to say we are slicing the string from the very beginning of the string till the index. We're going to try it here. Data science, and the index is 4. Sorry, we have the problem here. We forgot that the index must be an integer, so we have to convert index to an integer. We cannot use the string type of 4 to actually index the string. Data science 4, and indeed we get the data. So 2 important things to notice here. First is the index as a parameter, it must be an integer type, so you need to remember to convert it to integer. The second thing is this bracket here. We use the bracket as the syntax of indexing string. Okay, let's move on to question 5. The question 5 is the hardest one. It contains multiple parts. So you need to write a Python program that takes the user input string and determine whether it is a palindrome. And you have to, okay, here, ignore spaces, punctuation, and case sensitivity. So there are 2 things here. First, you need to check whether the string is a palindrome that is read the same backward as forward. And by backward and forward, you can actually think about, in the previous example, how to reverse the string. How to reverse it. You reverse it, and the result is the same, alright? And then you need to implement this. Ignore spaces, punctuations, and case sensitivity. It actually can be implemented with 2 steps. One is to eliminate case sensitivity, and the second thing is to check or only keep, or filters to keep only the alphanumerical numbers. That is, it is alphabetic or it is a number. Alright, so let's begin to write it. You need the input, string, input, enter a string, and we need to do this. Okay. So first, we need to convert it to lower cases. You can say normalized string goes to string dot lower. And second thing is to do this. Ignore spaces, punctuation. And there are multiple ways to do that. So first, let me show you the simplest way. Solution 1. You can have using a string concatenation. We can first initialize a final normalized string with an empty string, and we iterate through every character in the normalized string. And check if the character is alphanumerical. And if it is, we add it to the string. Okay, that is solution 1. We get the final normalized string. And in the end, we have to check to determine whether it is a palindrome. So we can say if the finalized normalized string equals to it reversed. So you see the index, you can use the third argument, -1, to actually represent to reverse the string. And if it is, then you print this string is else, you print this string is not. Now we can first try it. So enter the string. Yeah, you see, it indeed checked that this string is a palindrome because you converted everything to lower cases and you only filter out or only you keep the alphanumerical numbers. But solution 1 has a problem. That is, as we saw earlier, string is an immutable type. So this method is the slowest. Well, you shouldn't care too much about how fast the program are in this step. It's not the most elegant way to do it. So we can have solution 2. Solution 2 is to use the list. So you have a final normalized string, but you're not going to use the string representation, you're going to use a list. And you're basically doing a similar stuff, but with list you can do append. And finally, remember the join method. And we can try it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is indeed still correct. So solution 2, use list instead of string. And it's a bit better because the string, the list type is mutable and the string type is immutable. So it's a bit faster. And we can have solution 3, that is the fancy solution. A fancy one. This solution is actually the same as the solution 2, but it's a bit more fancy. So we can say final normalized string equals to join filter string and we can check the correctness by running a program. And it's indeed still correct, and it's only one line of code. It's a bit of a functional approach, if you like to think that way. It's like a functional programming approach that is using function composition. You're using function. You're always using the string that is numerical, alphanumerical, and use the filter. You filter out everything that is alphanumerical, and then you join the rest of the string together. Fundamentally, it's the same as solution 2, but it's just a bit more fancy, and some of people will actually prefer such solution. But it doesn't matter, so you can choose any of the solution. You can choose solution 1, solution 2, solution 3, it doesn't matter. And that's it. That is basically for all of the lecture here. So thanks everyone for listening.